Warning. The following content is intended for immature audiences only. The opinions of these two fine gentlemen should not be taken seriously at all.
The JTS 51 Podcast. Introducing your hosts, JT and Sai.
Hello again. A bit of a different one.
Apparently
welcome
you've applied to be a policeman.
Yeah, hello. You know what I mean? Welcome to another episode. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, mate. I didn't want to talk over you, but you really reminded me about. Do you remember that old
I don't
show?
know what I'm
Hello,
doing.
hello.
I don't know what I'm doing.
The guy that just, what were you just pissing by the window?
Hello. What's going on here? Oh my god. No,
Sorry, man. I'll let you do your thing.
No, it's fine. Honestly, that's probably the best intro we've ever done. Right. Welcome to another episode of the JCS 51 podcast. Now, who am I again? I am JT, and
It's been a long day.
yes, and my co-host, my colleague Sai. Sai, how you doing, mate?
Oh, yeah, not so bad. My missus was making me laugh earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We were having a conversation about the fact that she can only hear one half of the conversation whenever she walks past, right?
Ah, okay.
And I'd never thought about this before. But you and I talk a lot about random stuff and just random things and things we've seen and stuff. So if I go back to one of our previous conversations, so she'll be walking past and all she'll hear is, sometimes you and I talk in the character of the story.
Yeah, of course.
I think we did this a few episodes back when we were talking about people on the movie set ordering dildos and stuff like that. And so my missus will just randomly be walking past and she'll just hear, "Oh yes, and have you ordered the pink dildos this week?" It's like, what the hell are you talking
we're dangerous.
about?
Out of context, we are dangerous, mate, honestly.
She has no context. Yeah. She can only hear one half of the conversation. Yeah. She can hear like me talking as if I was a person doing the thing. It's just like, what the hell are you two talking about? And then she'll come back 10 minutes later and we're talking about cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, no, it's totally random. Well, that's the beauty of our podcast. You don't know where we're going to go, mate. Honestly, we're like a driver with no map. You generally don't know where you're going. It's one of those ones. It's crazy. Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
It's funny you say that as well, because as you grow up, and this is a little bit of an naughty thing, but you bump into random people that do drugs and they offer you drugs and stuff or whatever.
Very generous, very
stuff.
generous people, to be fair.
not the hard stuff, but you know those people. You call some of them friends, right? But I've never been interested in it because, as you probably gathered from this podcast, I find it difficult to remain on track at the best of times. If I was off my face on drugs, you would get no common sense out of me whatsoever. It's amazing.
Oh, this will be the JT podcast, just me talking about myself.
Well, if you're on it, it'd be the TJ podcast. You can remember who you were just a minute ago.
That is very true. Oh my god, we'd be a mess on drugs. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you know what's really funny? Speaking of, I listened to the wrong thing. So this is the opposite thing. So I only found this out a few weeks ago, actually. So my brother-in-law, whenever he's speaking to his wife, she sometimes, obviously, it's been a long day. Both of them been working. Now they're just talking after work and stuff. And she might be on her phone, or she might be just zoning out. And my brother-in-law will be saying something. The second my brother-in-law senses that she's not listening, he'll start saying ridiculous things. He'll start saying, and then, it was such a tough day at work. Blah, 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 did this. Susan said this. And I was like, and then he notices she's not listening. Then he'll say, and then you wouldn't believe it. Like, what happened? Gandalf flew in on his massive eagle, and then he cast a spell on Harry Potter. And then, and she'll be like, oh, really? Oh, that's crazy. And that's when he knows that she's turned off. So, and I actually caught them doing this a few weeks back, which is hilarious because I'm quite a perceptive listener. I'll listen. If I'm sitting in a room or I'm out and about, I kind of know what's going on around me. I can hear kind of different conversations going on. So I kind of clocked what he was doing because I was in the same room. And I was like, what the fuck? Gandalf? And then I started looking. I was like, I want to hear that story. I'm talking to my wife. This is boring. I want to hear what my brother-in-law was saying. And then his wife turned around. She actually clocked it this time. She started laughing. And I started laughing. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she explained sometimes when I switch off, he'll start saying ridiculous things so to make sure I'm listening. But you just caught him, and I was actually listening to his story. But I thought that was hilarious. I might actually start doing that. That's actually really, really funny.
Oh, you see, because that's usually a bloke thing, right?
Absolutely.
So if it's an engaging story, right, I'll say this about me. I'm probably like your mate's missus, right? If it's an engaging story, I'm there. If I'm interested in it, I'm there.
Yeah.
If it's something fresh, I'm there, right? The problem that I've got is that my missus and I, we tell stories in very different ways. Like I try to keep them short and punchy. Sometimes I ramble a bit, but short and punchy. And she goes for the very long, detailed ones, right?
Oh, my God.
So it's a bit of legwork to get to the story.
Yeah.
and that's fine because, she likes it's probably the the industry she works in. She has to make sure she crosses the T's,
very
dot
thorough,
the I's,
very
blah, blah,
thorough,
blah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. But when you're telling the story like that, that's great and you're building up a picture, but it goes down to what colour shorts they were wearing or how their hair was done, and I'm like, yeah, but when does the story start?
Started. Yeah. Because my wife and your wife work similar roles, it's exactly the same. And you know what really grinds my gears, Si, is like, say if we're talking to someone and she started telling a story, and I know it's a hilarious story, but I know she's about to fuck it up because she's not saying it right. I have to jump in. I'll be like, no, but this happened, and then this happened. The reason, and then she'll be like, no, let me finish. I'm like, no, you let me finish. You're gonna kill this joke. You're gonna absolutely kill this joke. This joke needs to be saved. This joke needs to be saved, right? And then she'll tell me off later, like, why did you jump in? I'm like, yeah, because you're telling it wrong. You need to make it more funny. My dad has the opposite problem. So my dad, I love my dad. Everyone loves my dad, right? He's known as a joker. He's a really nice guy. But God forbid the man tells a story. It's like telling a story which never ends and never has a punchline. Ever. Like, he will go on and on and on and on to the point where, say if we've all had a few drinks, right? Me and my mates, and my dad's walked in and he's joined us. He's had a few drinks and now we're laughing, joking, whatever. He'll jump on a story. And then 10 minutes into it, he's branched off the original story and he's gone on to 3 different stories. So he hasn't finished the first story, but he started telling the second and third story. And I have to kind of very politely kind of guide, basically bring him back to the original one. But then by that point, he's so bored of the first one, he doesn't want to finish that story. So now my friends are in complete disbelief. They're they're left in the lurch. They don't know what's going on. So then, I have to try and kind of push my dad back to, no, Dad, what happened with the first story? Tell us again. And then he kind of guides us back to the story. And then by that point, it's so long, drawn out. It's not even funny by the end of it. So I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
See, my dad and my wife are killing me, man. You step up the stories.
I've got right, so I will come to my missus' defence and say the first time that she tells any story, like one that's an entertaining one, it will be phenomenal and it will crack me up. Absolutely fantastic. It's like she pre-scripted it, she's written it down, but she's freestyling it. And then I don't know what happens between the first time telling it and every other time, because I'll be around my parents or we'll be around some friends and I'll tell them that story. It really made me laugh, and she'll start off in the middle, it'll be super deadpan. I'm just like, no, you missed the front, you missed this bit. What happened about that?
I feel your pain,
and I'm just like, I look like a mug because the first time it was amazing.
Then you have to end it with, well, you just had to be there. But where's the enthusiasm gone? When you told me the story in the first instance, tell it like that. That way it was the best. It's hilarious. I've kind of come to terms with, I'm the funny one in the relationship. I think she you know what, she no, I know, because I've got a podcast and she doesn't, so so but no, it is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. And then we kind of said to each other, look, okay, let's make a rule. If one of us is telling a story, we'll just let the other person finish. And she agreed. She said okay, because she's jumped in a few of my stories. I know I'm getting a great reaction. Like, I know this story's gonna hit. This joke is gonna make them drop dead. And then she'll come in and she'll ruin the surprise. Like, she'll hit the punchline before I've had the chance to anticipate it, which is the worst thing you could do in a story. So yeah, we kind of called it there. And then I only jump in, right? So I've had to kind of restrain myself a little bit. I'll only jump in when I know she's saying something wrong, as in like she's telling the story wrong. Otherwise I'll let her go, and it's just not as funny anymore. Yeah, what can we do? So we're the funny ones.
See, this is the thing. I don't think I'm that fun, right? I enjoy listening to our podcast, but obviously we have to do the editing and blah blah blah, and I enjoy telling stories and you and I making each other laugh and whatever. But it's funny because when I go back to see my folks, so they find they're sort of sort of straight-laced a little bit, but they find my stories quite
yeah.
funny. Yeah, so my dad's chuckling, my mum's laughing, my sister's cracking up or whatever. But I tell the same stories to like some of my other friends, and they just look at me like I'm an idiot. And for the most part, yes, I am. But I'm just like, I've come away from the ego boost of my family going, I'm going to nail this one. And you tell the same story.
Reality.
Like, what's wrong? Is the ambience not right? Am I not drunk enough?
Is this on?
What's going on?
Start tapping the mic. No, I've had that to me a few times. It's super embarrassing, to be honest with you. You know what the worst thing is? When you're talking to someone and you think you're doing a great job telling a story, and another person's just not listening. It happens so like you think you got them engaged, and then you hit the punchline. They're like, "Oh right, okay." I'll be like, "You dickhead! Were you even listening to this? This was I gave you 5 minutes of pure gold, and you've completely it just flew over your head. What's going on here? Oh, that pisses me off. That pisses me off a lot. What can we do?
No, it is funny. What can you do? You can put a podcast together with 3 listeners.
That's
what
right.
you can do. You got to have an outlet somewhere.
Boom! There we go.
It's all about the creative process.
100%. I find myself hilarious, so I'm good.
That's all that matters, right? No, that is all that matters.
Oh man. So
speaking of funny stories, sorry.
No, I was going to say, did you know what today was? Probably coming on to the same story.
I did, and I was about to tell you this story because we both know what day it is. Go on, you go.
National Book Day. Hey.
National Book Day. So, I think we've spoken about this before, but just to reiterate it, so like schools and nurseries and places of education, usually the teachers and some of the kids will dress up as their favourite book character. Now, I think that line between book character and characters in general has been blurred quite a lot, because you just find somebody that you like and then you dress up as them, and then you just go, "Oh, they appeared in a magazine once," and I think that counts.
That's the thing. I mean, kids have it. I see a lot of kids wearing football kits nowadays, and I'm like, yeah, but it's meant to be a book day. And they're technically, right, they are right, because half of the people that dress up as do have like biographies and autobiographies. Okay. Sticker books. They're still a book, right? It's in the name. So you can go. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, was this ever, sorry, when you were a kid, was this ever a thing? It was never a thing when I was a kid.
No. We had the fancy dress at school day type thing, which is just like dress as whatever you want, or they did a theme thing. I think I was when I was a kid. It's a long time ago. But yeah, never a book day thing.
So in my school, I remember when I was in primary school, book day would be like a company would come in and they would like change our playground a little bit, have little stalls. They would give you like some sort of, I don't know if this, some people might be able to remember this. They would have they'll give you a leaflet, like some sort of like kind of pamphlet, like a week before, and it will have loads of books on there. And if you want to buy that book, then you come in with money on the day. You go to one of these stores and you can buy the book with cash. That was our book day. I don't know what's happening nowadays. This is
somebody trying to flip books.
Absolutely. I was like, we're getting fleeced. This is crazy. Oh man, and obviously there would be a lot of excitement about the books as well, which is crazy. But it's just like some of them, I would be always interested in the Where's Wally books. I'm not even reading anything, just looking for Wally. Oh my god.
Well, that's the day that you should have bunked off, and then the teachers would have gone, "Well, where is he?" And it's like,
Where's Wally?
Obviously,
yeah. Oh my god.
And then the next time around, you go as "Where's Waldo?" and then you just work down the list of characters.
That's right.
And so you get like whatever it is, a day off a year. Or
be a bit hard to bunk off when you're a primary school kid, but I get your point. I do get your point.
Don't know, mate. Depends what part of Britain you're in.
That's true. That's very true.
Sometimes the teachers don't turn up. So
that's good. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. But no, speaking about book day, a friend of ours was telling us a story. Oh my god, it cracked me up. So she went as Super Mario. So the full red costume, the dungarees.
Brilliant.
She had the big, like, over the top Mario
brilliant
moustache stuck as well. Yeah. So, fantastic. Anyway, but what she was telling me is that she went in there and then had to conduct a bunch of interviews for some positions and coming up. And I couldn't quite get to the core of the story, but in any case, imagine you turn up for an interview, right? And so like you're suited and booted, trying to look great, and then either Super Mario greets you at the door,
"It's me, Mario,"
or
oh,
fantastic! That's a great impression. Or you're sitting in your office and somebody brings you in from reception, takes you through, and then opens the door and you're sitting. Super Mario. That is fantastic.
Oh, that is
Like,
amazing.
how do you approach? I think if you get through that interview, you've got to have
Best
the job
interview
right. You've got to
ever.
have it.
That would be the best interview ever. Like, you couldn't believe it.
Oh.
Like, you wouldn't believe it. Fucking hell, Dave. I had an interview. Walked in. It's only fucking Super Mario giving me an interview. Oh my word! No, that'd be absolutely incredible. Oh my god.
So you imagine whoever that was, or whoever those couple of people were that went to the interview today, then went home to their partners and said exactly what you just said. Yeah, I went in today. You never guess what? I got interviewed by Super Mario. Well, I hope you knew some facts. Is all I can say.
Exactly, mate.
But then she was telling me that later in the day, she had like a senior manager's call or something on Teams, and you know how when you. You know how when you have like a lot of people on Teams, it puts all the windows up, so there's like 20, 25 little separate square windows, and like, you know, half the people hadn't dressed up, and the other half you got Super Mario in one corner, Tintin in the bottom corner.
So you got like Helen from
Scooby Doo in the middle.
Helen from that
They're
school.
trying to have serious
You've got
conversation.
Susan from
Your
that
kids.
school. You've got the director of something from that school.
That's
Super
exactly
Mario.
it.
Oh, that is brilliant. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that is absolutely incredible.
Isn't it just?
There's two things you could do, right? You could either be in full costume and just own it because you've put all that effort in, or take off part of your costume, but then it's going to look a bit stupid anyway because you're dressed up. And then, say someone's gone the whole 9 yards and they've put makeup on their face, for example, it'll be stupid. Like, if you went as a clown, it'll be stupid if you just took off your red nose and you still got the makeup on, right? So it's better, like,
Yep.
so you got
exactly.
Oh, that is amazing. That is absolutely incredible.
You could also imagine it the other way. So you rocked up to this thing, and you know, and you're in there with the full moustache and the hat and stuff, and somebody says, you know, do you want to tone that down a bit? So what do you just take off the hat and just sit there
Keep
with
the moustache on.
moustache
Absolutely, keep the moustache on. So it's part of my costume. Oh my word!
But can you imagine that in a different industry? I think we said that. I can't remember if we've covered this before, but it doesn't matter because it's still funny, right? So this is sort of acceptable in schooling, as I say. But you and I work in very different industries. Can you imagine us rocking up?
No way. Can you?
It's just
Can you imagine?
Humpty Dumpty.
Absolutely, man. Oh my god! Can you imagine? It would just throw the whole meeting off. It will completely throw it off. Oh my god. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like your mate actually made a big, what do you call it? Like she actually put effort into it. So my missus, on the other hand, last night said she couldn't be asked, like she's done it so many times, and she went into a wardrobe, picked out a bit of clothing, said, I don't know what to go as tomorrow. So I was like, yeah, okay, we'll see what you got. Puts on a army camouflage shirt. And said, what do you think of this? I said, yeah, it's a nice top. She goes, no, for National Book Day. I'm like, well, what are you meant to be? She goes, I'm just going to say I'm a soldier. I'm like, you can't just say you put on a camouflage top and say you're a soldier. That is the worst. You're better off doing nothing. That's ridiculous. Oh my God. God forbid.
That is
Oh
fantastic.
my word. I'm like, if one of your kids did that today, you'd be telling him off and giving detention. So that's not fair, is it? Do you know what I mean? Oh my God.
I love it. I love the minimalist approach though. So next year she's going to put on 2 white gloves. What are you this year? Well, Mickey Mouse, obviously. Duh.
And then the following year, she could just wear 1 white glove and say she's Michael Jackson.
Oh, look at that.
But going to
Double use costume.
But you don't want to be MJ going to a primary school. That would be that would be advised.
Because there are those people that take it too far. It's usually on Halloween, but there are those people. You've got the Nazis that rock up. You've got who was our dodgy guy that wore the tracksuit? I can't remember his name. Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, a lot of Jimmy Savile costumes.
This is not book day much, you know what I mean? People just, it is funny, but
I find it funny, but there is a line. Yeah. Oh my God. People dress as Hitler as well. My gosh.
Do you know what I think is funny about that though? Just sort of moving into that a little bit. Like you think of Halloween, you got people dressed up as all sort of like demons and ghouls and goblins and stuff like that, but somehow Jimmy Savile is more inappropriate.
There is a line, right? You can't be the Antichrist.
Exactly.
You can't be a devil, but you.
No, you can be.
But you can't be Savile.
Savile.
Exactly. That's where they draw the fucking line. Oh my word! Brilliant. It is brilliant.
Oh, you gotta love it. You got to love it. Speaking about your missus, you were going to ask her a question.
Oh,
last week.
so
Remember we were speaking about dogs.
Do you know what, mate?
Did you get
so
round
you
to
actually
that?
enlightened me last week. So if anyone that didn't listen, go back and listen to that podcast. Press pause here. Go back. Listen to that. Come back here. Anyway, yeah. So we got on the topic of anal dog glands, which is quite a mad
Still
thing
makes me
to say. I never knew about it, right? Yeah. So I enlightened me on it on the topic. So knowing that my wife had a dog previously, naturally after the podcast, I went and asked her. I said, "By the way, did you know about anal dog glands?" And she said, "What?" We're in bed at this point, obviously with no context, right? No context is so dangerous. But she's thinking, "What are you waffling on about?" I'm like, "No. Oh, hold on, sorry. Let me back up a little bit. Hold on." So on the,
I like that you start from the middle.
I'm doing what she does. Yeah. Oh my god! So I'm going to tell my brother-in-law to say that term next time he thinks his wife's not listening. Oh yeah!
Just start a trend. Then tell your dad. Then tell your mum.
Oh my god! So I said, no. Listen, look. I said, look. Let me break it down a little bit. So you had a dog, right? She goes, "Yeah, I had two." I said, "Okay. Did you ever have to get the anal dog glands cleaned?" She goes, "What? No." I'm like, "Okay, but didn't they rub their butt against your carpets and stuff?" She said, "Not really, but I think my brother used to take care of that. So he must have taken them to the vet to get it done, or they just never done it. I don't know. I have literally no idea." Next time I catch up with my brother-in-law, I'll ask him. I'll be like, "By the way, do you know about the anal dog glands?" Interesting topic of conversation. Yeah.
This is now a thing, isn't it? If there's, you know what? You have these like office icebreakers. Because it's a legit thing. Yeah. Go around asking about that. There you go. Job done. The thing is, as far as I understand, it's not all dogs. It's just like, the ones that are a little bit inbred. But whatever. But in any case, like the purebreds and stuff
she
like
actually,
that. But in any case, it's a thing.
Because she actually spent the next 5 minutes thinking, like, did my dog ever do that? What is going on? Did I ever take my dog to the vet to get his ass checked out? Like, she was in deep thought. And I was like, oh god, it wasn't meant to be like that deep of a question. But yeah, no, it's it's hilarious actually. Yeah, but I know as far as she's aware, she didn't know about the anal dog glands. I'm saying anal dog glands a lot in this podcast.
Do you want to say some more?
I just realised more like the 6th or 7th time. Yeah, no, so sort of thing.
Do you know what? It's when you get to like the algorithms in YouTube or Spotify, whatever the hell it is, and there's just like repeated words. I don't know if it does it on words, but there's certainly topics that it pushes to the top that are like trending. If we keep saying anal dog glands enough, do you think that this is going to push us to the top of this
Well, what
thing?
we can do is false advertise. I could put this on as the title of the pod and try and get like people that are just genuinely looking for advice on the anal dog glands. Get new listeners. Come on, marketing 101.
You don't get. We were talking about that, weren't we? So the next time you're sitting down watching your what's that show you watch? Where they get
Traitors.
kicked out.
Or Apprentice. Yeah.
Traitors. Sorry. Yeah, and we were talking about the inappropriate adverts that come on. The next one's going to be
dog glands.
So your dog does it. Here's the medication for it. Job done. Off you go.
Oh my god, it's absolutely hilarious.
That'll put you off your pizza or whatever you're eating.
Yeah, bloody hell. No, I'm just trying to think back now. I've seen like videos online of dogs, really scratching their bums, like sliding themselves across the carpets. It makes a lot of sense now. They're just itchy because they're not getting the anal dog glands clean. That's why.
Do you know what? People say that when you die you come back reincarnated as something else, right? If that's true, I don't care what the something else is, as long as I can scratch all the places I need to scratch. Like imagine being an an animal and you can't scratch your butt. Oh my god, that must be the most annoying thing ever.
I feel you got to feel sorry for them, honestly. And then when something accidentally brushes up against it, you just feel like, oh, that's nice, but like this is that would be really sad. That'd be really, really sad.
Did you see that clip that went round? Speaking about that, did you see the clip that went round a little while ago about that bear scratching his back on that post?
Yeah.
And like the whatever it is, like the wire or cable snapped and just like cracks it in the nuts, and there's just like this full on. I think it's a grizzly bear or something just rolling around.
Big bear. It's a big bear. Oh my god, that was hilarious. I've also seen I think it was an advert on either like Finnish or Norwegian TV where I think a bear, obviously it's a guy dressed as a bear and there's another guy kind of in like its habitat and they get into a fight and so the bear starts doing kung fu moves out of nowhere. Yeah, I know.
What?
And then the other guy thinks he quickly thinks of what to do, and he just kicks the bear in the nuts. And bear goes down, runs off. I'm like, that's genius, absolutely brilliant. Like brilliant. This was like I'm talking about 20 years ago. It's been that long. Yeah, but it's always stuck in my head. Like what a brilliant advert. Oh my god.
To be fair, a nut shot takes out anything. I don't care. Imagine back in the day, you had like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something like that, and he's trying to eat something much smaller, and this thing just headbutted him in the crotch. That's that Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's down.
He can't even cup his bullseye. We were just saying animals. Do you know what I mean? Like he could barely touch his chest. So yeah, that's mental. Imagine that.
And that's why Tyrannosaurus Rexes have got a bad reputation. They just had itchy butts and couldn't scratch them because they had such tiny arms.
Angry all the time.
Solved it.
Well, poor souls.
You would be angry all the time, wouldn't you?
100%. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. Poor souls. No one understood him. Yep.
He just wanted to grab like a stegosaurus and just like grind his butt up against them. But no, the stegosaurus was trying to fight back all the time, got himself a bad rep.
Fuck's sake, stegosaurus. Could have. The whole thing.
Do you know, we've said, you were saying that you said anal butt glands a lot on this pod. Yeah. So you and I have both got our phones near us. No doubt tomorrow morning we're going to get promotions for something to do with that.
Yeah, you know that. 2 for 1.
Vet services. Yeah. 2 for 1.
2 for 1 coupon. 30% off your next visit for Anal Dog Glands. My God. Well, you were saying it so much. This might be something to eat on the fucking. I'm a celebrity next year. Do you know what I mean? This could be a thing.
And right now, one of your missus is walking past your room door, and all she can hear is you just repeatedly saying that, like you've got Tourette's or something.
Oh my God.
No context.
No. Oh, that is hilarious. Imagine someone with Tourette's actually says that as their tick. Oh my God. In the library. Anal Dog Glands. Oh my God. Oh.
There was that show a little while back.
What's that?
Where these the people with Tourette's were sitting down, and it's funny how people's brains work in those situations and the connections they make. Because one of the ones that cracked me up is these people were all sitting in a room, and the person was talking about the sort of benefits and stuff that they could have. Right. This was an old show, again, same as you said. This is probably like 20 years ago, and this woman was sitting there going, and some of you, because this gets quite bad, you might need a minder. This was like back in the day, and one of them just shouts out, "Arthur Daly!" and just all of them start cracking up. So like God. He was like one of the main characters in this old show. Yeah, but yeah, just the way that people's minds work and they can't control it, but it's relevant. And it's not just the people that swear, but actually say the things in line with it, like "I want to grab your butt." It's just like, where did that come from? Like nobody thinks that. It's always rude, isn't it? It can't just be like, "Can I make you a cup of tea?" It's like, you never hear that, do you? You never hear someone just walking along and they're chatting. He goes, "Do you want a cup of tea?" Like normal. No, it's always like, "Can I grab your butt?"
Yeah. I mean,
"Can I flick your tit?" It's never. It's never just normal stuff.
I remember back on Big Brother back in the day, again, about 20 years ago, there was a guy that had Tourette's, and I remember there was a lady that needed a bit of consoling, so he went up to her and goes, "Oh, how you doing? You all right?" She goes, "No, I'm feeling a bit down." He goes, "Wanker!" I was like, "Oh God, the timing on that! Oh my God!" Oh, he's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" So it's just like. Oh my God! It's one of the most like maddest conditions you can have. Tourette's syndrome. It's just bloody hell. Whatever comes into there's obviously a tick, isn't there? So I don't know. I didn't know it was associated until you said it to the conversation. I thought it was just a random word they're thinking, or that you're not even thinking. It just comes out straight as when they're talking normally. But yeah, can you just imagine like living without that? It's like it must get you to some of the crazy situations. Oh my God!
But as I say, it's always sort of the inappropriate stuff. Now, either you and I are thinking this stuff all the time. So when we're on a phone call to somebody at work and they're annoying us, and you're just sitting there thinking you're a dickhead, yeah. But we suppress it so much, or it happens so often, we don't even think about it. Whereas if we had Tourette's and this person phoned up and they're sort of ranting, you're like, "You're a dickhead." Yeah. just are we thinking that all the time, or is it just special to like these sort of cases? I don't know.
Well, maybe we could do some research.
Because I often sit there and get frustrated at calls, so maybe I'm just thinking it, but not really realising.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's right.
Maybe I'm just going to start swearing at people and saying, "That's
one way to get it off your chest." Oh my God. Oh, brilliant. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the JTS 51 podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We love all three of you. Keep listening. And tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Honestly, just go for it. It's free. Just give us a bit of a push. Thank you so much. And that's a bye from me.
Yep, and it's always a bye from me. And if you want to hear Jay say Anal Dog Glands a bit more, just write into the show. Message in.
Wanker!
Like, subscribe. Dickhead.
Oh, we're going to get cancelled.
Somehow
we're going to get cancelled.
It's terrible. Yeah. Oh, dear. Anyway, take care all. We'll catch you at the next one. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the JTS 51 podcast. For more epic content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future episodes.
Oh, forgot to press record. We have to do it again.
So did I, actually. So I don't know why I'm laughing. It's a good job you reminded me. Oh.